I'm a big LVP enthusiast. I've seen the rise and fall of the series, and in fact, my first video with over 1,000 views was discussing Sackboy: Big Adventure. So I know what happened to the series. When 3 came out, it was unbelievably buggy and unpolished, and was pretty much the downfall of the series. Even though now it's probably the overall best LVP game in terms of content and value, it still destroyed the series. And thus, it has been 7 years since the last LVP game, and I seriously doubt they'll ever make another one. But if they do, then they need to do it right. So here is what I believe to be the ultimate LVP game. LittleBigPlanet has always been defined by 3 main categories: play, create, and share. This philosophy has to hold true for LBP4 for it to even be considered an LVP game. Now for this hypothetical game, I'll divide it into story mode, create mode, and longevity. Also, since this is my own personal wishlist, I'm gonna go a little out there. For starters, let's go with longevity. My plan for the perfect LVP game relies on its being a live service game. It doesn't make any sense to release a new LVP game on the same console when it simply could have been updated or have an expansion added to. Sure, the term live service has a pretty negative connotation, but if you really think about it, LittleBigPlanet was always meant for this format. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but LVP has always had a ton of microtransactions. Like, to put things into perspective, if you were to buy LVP2 and all of its DLC, it'd come out to a staggering $190 US. That's $140 for DLC for a game that already costs $50. It's ridiculous. Sure, you're getting an amazing and complete experience for those $50, but I would still suggest adopting a free-to-play format. By making this LVP4 free across all of PS5, you raise the amount of potential players tenfold. At the same time, you lower the barrier of entry. That'll allow you to maintain a consistent player base at all times. In addition, you can make it so only PS Plus subscribers can play, making it yet another reason to pick up the service. With this free-to-play format, though, there'd naturally be tons of DLC, and also there's plenty of people that don't want to have an incomplete LVP experience. Thus raises the dilemma: do you go free-to-play with microtransactions, or go for a complete experience with a limited revenue source? Split the difference. Have the free-to-play players only be able to play levels that other people created. You block and restrict the rest of the content as expansion packs. But then again, for people who want a complete experience, you'd have a full $60 version that includes everything. It'd be essentially a complete game and would be indistinguishable from a traditionally styled LVP game. You'd get full access to the create and story mode, along with tons of free customizability options. Sure, there'll be a couple of extra microtransactions in the forms of skins and potential updates along the way, but for the most part, it's all you need to get. Now for the story mode, there would be a total of 6 campaigns. Yes, you heard me, 6. Okay, so this is where I might be getting a little absurd. Because what I desperately want is a remastered form of all the LVP campaigns. It doesn't even need to be a big change. I just want to have access to all of the LVP campaigns in one place. That means 1, 2, 3, PSP, and Vita, all with reworked controls and slightly tweaked graphics and gameplay. But that's only 5. Where's the 6th? So the 6th campaign will be in the form of a brand new adventure featuring Sackboy. I'd love to see them go even weirder than ever before, maybe in the form of like a full-fledged 3D platformer in the same vein as Sackboy: Big Adventure. Now I know what you're thinking, 6 campaigns included into one game in addition to a full-fledged create and play mode is ridiculous. But no. See, what I'm proposing is that the brand new campaign would be included in the $60 version of the game, but the rest would be $10 DLC. Or something along those lines. It doesn't have to be exactly that way. But the point is, I want this to not just be the perfect LVP game, but the ultimate LVP game. And the only way to do that is by including everything from past titles. On this subject, let's move to the create mode. Though here, I don't want to get too technical, so I'll keep things general with the hope that you'll see what I'm thinking. First off, obviously keep with the layered 2.5D format that's been a series staple. but also introduce a full 3D mode. After playing Sackboy Big Adventure, I need 3D LittleBigPlanet. Sure, some might say, well, what's even the point of a 3D create mode with Dreams around? Well, first off, Dreams isn't LittleBigPlanet. That's like saying, what's the point of Minecraft when you have Roblox? I mean, sure, Roblox is endlessly more in-depth than Minecraft, and I still think it's a great game, but it loses some of its simplicity and charm. Dreams and LBP shouldn't compete. It simply doesn't make any sense. They each offer a different type of experience with their own merits. At least that's the way I'm looking at it. In terms of other additions, I'd love to see some new abilities in the same vein as like the Blink Ball and Grappler, as well as the return of Oddsock, Swoop, and Toggle. They aren't the most balanced of characters, and their designs definitely need some tweaking, but for me, they were one of the best parts of LBP3. And that's all I really got in terms of specifics for the create mode. Like, the 3D mode alone would alter the game so much that that's all I really need, to be honest. However, this is a supposedly live service game, so let me talk about what that actually means. Updates. Not like little costume updates or crossovers, but like literal full expansions. For the free players, it would impact the levels they play, and for the people that bought the game, it would be game-altering. Also, not every expansion would have to be free. If it were big enough, then charging anywhere from $5 to $20 wouldn't be out of the question. See, previously, LBP games only lasted a couple of years at max, before they were either replaced or added upon by a whole new game. Now, how long would this game last? I'm thinking at least a generation. Having this as a consistent perk for PS Plus and making it a constantly updated game is really the only way I can see LBP succeeding in this day and age. The format previously used for LittleBigPlanet games was flawed to say the least. In my mind, this new structure would create an LBP game that will put the series back on top with an active player base and community. And it's not like one of the ways that LBP could make a comeback. I honestly think it's the only way that LBP could make a comeback. Even if some parts may seem a bit too ridiculous, at the end of the day, the structure is there, and that's all that matters. Anyways though, that's my wish list for a new LBP game, and I would absolutely love to see other people's thoughts and suggestions for this treasured and beloved series that we all hold very close to our hearts, because LittleBigPlanet is beyond special and it needs to return.